presented by Joseph A. Bank. Tonight we're in the campus of Prairie View A&M, just outside of Houston, Texas, at the William J. Nix building for this SWAC matchup. Jackson State in a slump at the moment, but still have a half a game advantage on the Prairie View Panthers. We take a look at the standings in the SWAC, and we'll show you why this game is so important. Because you've got two teams that are very close to each other in the standings, just a half game apart. And just 7-5 versus 6-5. Jackson State with the half game edge. And Malcolm Huckabee, I'm Dave Lamont. We thank you very much for joining us. So we were talking earlier, there's a lot at stake from here on in, particularly trying to get into that top four.
Yeah, the top four in the SWAC. They host a home game in the conference tournament. So this is a huge game tonight for both teams in terms of standings and also hosting a home game.
Yeah, Jackson State 2 out of first place in the conference, and Prairie View is 2.5 out. They do have a game in hand on Jackson State, and we got some bad news for the Panthers just before tip-off. We learned that Gary Blackston, I should say, not available tonight, so that's really going to put even more on an already crowded plate for Zachary Hamilton.
Yeah, that's not the news that you want coming into this, losing your best player, but they do have Zach Hamilton. Hard to believe this guy started off as a walk-on. Right now, he's turned himself into one of the better players in the SWAC. Look at the numbers, 3 threes made per game. That leads the SWAC conference. That's going to be a key theme tonight for Jackson State. Can they chase him off the three-point line?
And three-point shooting really hurt the Panthers when these teams played in January. They missed 19 of 22 threes. So we will get the rematch when we return.
There are a chosen.
So they're about to introduce the Prairie View Panthers. We mentioned that Gary Blackston, who's been averaging almost 29 points his last 3 games, second in the SWAC in scoring, is not going to be able to play tonight. Malcolm, you were at the walkthrough today. He was in a boot, has a foot injury, and also Jackson State is missing an important player too. So both these teams are a little bit on the beat-up side. You've got Chase Franklin not able to go, but the good news for the Tigers is Paris Collins has finally come back.
Yeah, and Jackson State, they've been dealing with injuries going back to last season where they lost key players. Really tough to deal with right now as we get closer to March Madness. We talked about it at the top, though. Zach Hamilton, he's going to be the guy tonight for Prairie View. He's a guy that can fill it up from beyond the arc, and that's going to be a key matchup. Jackson State, they must defend the three-point line in this game.
Take a look at the coaches. First off, Byron Smith in his second full season at Prairie View A&M as the head coach. And Wayne Brent is on the other sideline for Jackson State. His squad has lost 5 of their last 6. He has had to deal with a constant shuffle of who's available, who's not available. Maurice Rivers is now starting to get more playing time. We saw him last week. So Wayne Brent has certainly had his challenges this season with his Tigers. Our officials today are Keith Kimball, Sean Seals, and Ted Valentine. And at the Nix Center, we are about to get going. Time of the year we're in every conference, every game, especially when you're stuck in that middle. You don't want to go down. Critical.
Yeah, all teams trying to jockey for position as they get closer to conference tournament play. And another thing we're going to watch for in this game, Dave, transition defense. Prairie View in the last 5 games has been scoring over 80 points. They're a team that wants to get up and down, make or miss. So Jackson State also, they're going to have to be secure on their transition defense as well in this game.
Well, they've been shooting lights out. They have averaged almost 90 points a game in their last 5, shooting 55% from the field, shooting 44% from 3.
Well, interesting this afternoon during walkthrough. Typically, shoot-arounds are focused on shooting. They did all defense in this shoot-around, so they know they can score. They're secure in that area. They just know defense is going to be key in this game against Jackson State.
So you will have jump ball, Jackson State and the Road Blues, and they'll control the tap. Take a look at Julian Daughtry. Darius Austin, Trayshawn Bolden, Paris Collins, and headband belongs to Jeremiah Jefferson. He'll fire away. Long shot, front of the rim, no good. Rebound. The Panthers grabbed there by Hamilton. Trying to feed it to Hamilton. Now they do. Dennis Jones, number 11. This guy's going to be a key player now with Langston out of the game.
He is right now. Jackson State coming out in a matchup zone. It's key communication. Make sure you don't leave any open shooters out of that zone.
With 5 on the clock, 3-ball rim out and put back in spectacular fashion by Keon Alexander.
That's just great work on the offensive glass. And you see that often when you go to zone, the blockout assignments are missed. That time, we saw a nice offensive rebound putback. He got up high for that one.
I'm going to take a wild guess that Jackson State emphasized not having offensive rebounds as Bolden ties the game. They gave up 21 offensive rebounds when these teams played a month ago.
Again, going back to my comment about the zone, man-to-man, it's much easier. You just put a body on the guy you're guarding, keep him off the offensive glass. Communication, again, is also key out of the zone on your blockout assignments.
Right in the face of the defender, 3-ball side rim, no good. Rebound, Paris Collins. This guy was SWAC preseason all-conference, but has battled injuries all year. He's open here. Not a lot of arc on that shot. It finds the bottom of the net.
And that's all set up by Bolden. Unselfish play. Could have tried to go one-on-one. Saw cross court, and that's a beautiful find for a wide-open Collins.
Well, Bolden, again, going back to the last meeting between these teams, he had 6 assists in that game.
Very good passer out of the post.
Trying to get a little intricate with the passing that time. Alexander turns it over, and that pass just too low. And it'll be turned over by the Tigers.
Right here, Alexander getting up high off the miss, and nobody blocked him out. That's just too easy right there.
He's going to head to the bench. By the way, that dunk upped his scoring average. He was averaging just under 2 points per game. Might have been a bit of a surprise starter, actually. Now Sharon Jett, number 21, has checked in. Foul line, Jay there. Second one we've seen bounce in and out against the home team. And will belong here to Jackson State.
Jackson State fortunate again not to give up another offensive rebound. So they're going to have to tighten that up as this game progresses out of the zone.
That's a little tough shot there by Jefferson. He's going to draw a whistle. We've noticed also that the scoreboard clock and the shot clock to our right is out. So that's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage for Jackson State as they head toward that, not being able to see the shot clock. Ooh, almost stolen there as Collins has been hanging around those passing lanes.
Jackson State very active in the passing lanes out of the zone.
Team loves to shoot the threes. Troy Thompson, the senior from Oakland, California, he's had 6 straight games with 2 or more made threes. You see he's been hot in the last 6.
That's his beautiful ball movement against the zone.
Austin doing a lot of dribbling, gets rid of it, over to Jefferson. 9 to shoot. Collins, 5 on the clock, rimmed out too strong, rebound tapped around, but controlled finally by Zach Hamilton. Great pass, and it draws a foul.
That's really nice pick and roll offense by Prairie View. Nice little roll after the pick, and the pass, as you said, was right on point.
The foul was on Trayshawn Bolden. Two free throws. And Prairie View has the 7-5 lead as Bolden in the middle was left open, and he spun it off a little bit strong off the hand. Got a steal. No, Hamilton gets there first. Shot clock does not reset. 3-ball one more time. No good. Rebound controlled by Prairie View. They'll try again. Hamilton, nice shot fake. Bit of a wild shot. Offensive foul. 15:45 to go. Prairie View and Jackson State. It's close in the early going.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905. And in part by Sam Adams, fill your glass. And Axe.
No.
All right, the Valentine's edition of the crossover Wednesday night on ESPN and ESPN2 is for the basketball lover. And we have our college guys going to the NBA and the NBA guys going to college like Hubie and Jay Billis doing Virginia Tech and Duke, Mark Jackson, Dickie V, Clippers, Celtics, PJ Carlissimo, Dan Dockich, Kentucky Auburn, Doris Burke, and Bill Walton for the Warriors and the Trailblazers. All 4 games are, of course, available on the ESPN app. You'll watch them all day and all night long now. So you take a good look there. J.D. Wallace, who had those last free throws, wearing a different number tonight. Number 2 instead of number 12.
And he's been solid for them. 4 double-doubles on the season. And he's a guy that can do a little bit of everything, scoring, as we've seen, and then on the defensive glass.
Skip pass around to Bolden. A flat-footed 3. You know, he makes those every once in a while. That's his 5th made 3 of the year. Trayshawn Bolden, and Jackson State elbows ahead.
Yeah, and the coaching staff raves about his leadership quality. He's the vocal leader of the team. He's a guy with that size that could potentially play at the NFL. Great size. You definitely are not going to move him off the block.
Jet with a tip in. Bolden thought about it. Oh, Collins wanted it so badly, but was disappointed didn't get it. That's a clear out on the forearm by Daughtry. Collins was pleading for the ball and did not get it. And Daughtry with a mistake there.
That's great defense. It's just a beautiful job of sliding your feet, staying in front of the defender, and not fouling. And that was a key for Prairie View as well, too. In their last outing against Grambling, they put them on the line 37 times. So again, they focused on playing defense and playing defense without fouling. That's a key.
Jeremiah Bozeman guarding the ball right now has come in. Hamilton, another rim out and a good rebound in traffic that time by Lemmy Howard, number 31, who's in. Quick fire 3, back iron, long rebound. Here comes Prairie View. Shot fake on the 3, step back. And that is a 3. Step back, so Thompson's done it again. He's got 2 threes already in this game. That'll make it 7 straight with at least 2.
That's 2 times now. We've seen nice usage of the shot fake as Bolden is turning into Steph Curry in this game. We talked about his size and his leadership, and now he's shown an ability to step out. That one was deep, beyond the 3-point line.
Fighting right back is Bolden. That's a tricky step. Another offensive rebound. Wallace missed everything on the way back. Howard rebounds. Here's Jefferson. He does not have numbers. And wisely withdraws. So here's the sophomore Bozeman out of Oklahoma. Okay, this is an important game in the conference standings. You have one team at 7-5, one team at 6-5. Jackson State, the 7-5 team. Bolden almost had that rebound. In fact, out of bounds will belong to Prairie View. The Panthers at 6-5.
We're seeing some nice usage of the ball fake. Again, more closeout, and then Bolden showing off the range. And right now, Prairie View, they're going to have to change their strategy guarding him, although he's out of the game right now. But if he continues to knock down threes, they're going to have to get somebody out on him.
Let me throw this thought at you. If you're Wayne Brent, do you encourage him to keep firing? Or do you go, hey, big fella, that's nice, now get back inside?
I think I give him one more shot at it. So he's 2 for 2 right now. And certainly he's been wide open. So, look, if he's wide open, he's knocking him down. I got no fault with that whatsoever.
Bozeman had it picked. To the floor we go. Diving on it is Wallace. He's going to hang on to it. And the jump ball, possession arrow, favoring the Panthers. Look at Austin Starr. He held the ball for a moment under 30 over to Thompson. This is Dennis Jones with assist man, second in the conference with assist, as a matter of fact. And that will be an offensive foul on Jones. Charge taken there by Bozeman.
Well, we're seeing excellent defense by both teams. Again, this is just a nice individual defensive play, sliding your feet without fouling and then coming up with a charge. Both teams getting after it on the defensive side.
Jefferson comes out of the game. Jordan Berry, number 13, is checked in for Jackson State, a sophomore. He has it now from DeSoto, Texas. Again, Jackson State has a bit of a handicap above the backboard there. Their clock is not working. So I'm assuming somebody on the JSU bench is yelling out the numbers on the shot clock as Austin creates his own shot, misses, rebound, going the other way. We'll see if that changes come the half when the home team is headed toward that clock.
Yeah, that's definitely a big disadvantage.
What an aggressive drive by the junior from Fort Worth, Dennis Jones, to give Prairie View the 3-point lead.
But I think it's less of an issue for Prairie View. We talked about their numbers. I don't think they barely get deep into the shot clock, the numbers that they've been putting up the last 5 games.
Step back three with confidence by Jordan Berry. 35% three-point shooter, shot that like he was a 55% three-point shooter, and we're tied. Hamilton works it around to Starr.
Jackson State back into the matchup zone.
No good. What a spectacular rebound by Hamilton. Tried to throw at the Wallace. It was knocked away. Knocked him out of bounds. 11:15 remaining. We'll step aside on hotly competitive Monday night in the SWAC.
We've seen some nice ball movement right here. Jones with a nice finish with the left hand. We got a close one early.
Super Tuesday, presented by Boost Mobile, has a couple of top 25 matchups for you. 7 Eastern in the Big 12, Trae Young and number 17 Oklahoma taking on number 7 Texas Tech. Then we're heading down to the Gables to see the Hurricanes host number 2 for Virginia. Both of these games are on ESPN and the ESPN app. The Sooners beat the Red Raiders. Miami having drafted, by the way, out of the top 25. The Sooners beat the Red Raiders earlier. Trae Young had a big day. Iowa State looked pretty good, but people all of a sudden the last day, I've read more negative articles about Trae Young, Malcolm, than I have all season long.
It's amazing the society we live in. This is a freshman, and I think sometimes people forget that fact that he is a freshman, and not too many freshmen I know of put up 22 and 11, and people somehow find something wrong with that. But you know, in my mind, certainly a phenomenal talent. I just think they're so used to him putting up 44 and 50, and that's just not sustainable. And, you know, again, he's a freshman, and you don't talk about the length of the season as well, too. He might be hitting a little bit of that freshman wall.
Same thing happens whenever you have the Heisman discussion. And there's a beautiful feed and a slam by Wallace. And the Heisman discussion gets to middle of November, and all of a sudden the guy who's in the lead may have a slightly off game, and everybody goes and turns on him. And it sometimes makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't. Berry could have taken that all the way in himself, and instead his pass was intercepted.
My final point on that, I wish I had 22 and 11 as a freshman wall.
3 ball. And Prairie View a little bit off on their three-point shooting right now, 2 out of 7.
Better job, though, by Jackson State contesting. Early on, they were getting some clean looks. Right now, Jackson State getting a hand up, getting out better closeouts.
Well, their main shooter so far, still on the bench, Bolden, is 3 of 3. The rest of the team is 2 out of 8, so they need him back in there.
This right here, nice little diamond. beautiful interior pass. The rotation for Jackson State was not there. And he just finished off the rest.
Well, that's Dennis Jones again, and showing his ability. He had 15 points and 6 assists when these teams met last month. A victory for Jackson State in their gym. Why not? 2 out of 8 from 3. Rebound tapped out, however. Great effort by Starr. He'll get the reward and missed the shot. They are again hitting the offensive boards hard, though, Prairie View.
They are, and I think right now they need to settle, try to get the ball to the basket. Right now I think they're settling for some quick threes early in the shot clock that are contested. Try to dribble drive.
Well, that's exactly what was attempted there by Paris Collins, and Collins was fouled. And foul will be on Thompson.
And I think it just makes it easier for your offense. Again, don't settle for the first look three. Collins that time forcing the action, see if you can get to the line. And that's been problematic, though, for Prairie View. Again, we talked about that last game. They put Grambling on the line 37 times. And that's something that a number needs to go down, and the coaching staff is working on that this afternoon in shoot-around.
Holden will come back in. He'll bring Jeremiah Jefferson with him as Lemmy Howard and Darius Austin will check out of the game. You got a good look there at Collins, a senior from San Antonio. Critical player for this JSU squad. Just now rounding back into shape. First time since January 8th he played just 2 nights ago. And now we're going to have a timing issue. One of the officials trying to get the clock the right way. That's the one we can see.
Good job by the referees being right on top of that. Not an easy thing to do. I'm distracted easily. They're watching the game and also watching the clock, so good job of the refs being right on top of that.
That's going to be an and one opportunity, as drawing the contact is Dennis Jones, and we talked right at the top of the broadcast with Blackston unavailable. This guy could be the key player tonight.
And that's twice now we've seen him finish with the left hand. That's just a beautiful move. And right now, Jackson State, they're opening up too much. You got a guy at the top of the key right there. You got to keep him in front of you. You can't open up so much where he just blows right by you to his left hand. And heads up play, though, by Jones again.
Thompson has hit the only threes that Prairie View has made. Checks out of the game. And a three-point play for Jones. He's got 5 points and 3 assists. And Juan Hood, a 5'9" freshman, has checked into the game, number 5. That's 5'9" in basketball height. My guy there is not 5'9".
So you're saying when they listed me as 6'4"?
Well, you might be 6'4". I spent enough time with you. I think 6'4" is legit for you. I'm not sure about 5'9" for him. But obviously, he can play, and that's all that matters. He has it now. Ten to shoot. Wallace back to Hood. He'll step back. He'll drain it. So Hood comes off the bench and provides an immediate spark for the Panthers. They lead by 4.
Confident looking freshman right there. Nice little step back three with the defender right on him.
Jefferson into a lot of traffic, and he is hit with a charge. That's the 3rd offensive foul of the game, and who takes it but Hood?
Yeah, and I've been impressed on both sides. The team defense right here. This is just great team defense. Step over, your rotation is there, and then you take the charge. That right there, you can tell they drill that every day in practice, and that's how you perfect it in a game right there. Nice job of Team D.
He was clearly outside the restricted area, so an easy and correct call by the officiating crew. Got a nice touch on our game tonight, just 8 fouls, kind of parade to the line. Good. Kind of a pepper pot type player, very quick. Collins, contested 3. Bolden got a tap on it. Hood will escape with a rebound. Oh, that's a fantastic pass to Wallace, and he draws contact. He will have to earn his points at the line, but what a great look.
And again, that's all set up by the use of a nice shot fake and then dribble drive.
Prairie View in front by 4. Big Monday in the SWAC.
The entire season has led to this moment. The anticipation has been building all year. It's time for the Toyota SWAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. Be a part of the action March 9th and 10th as the SWAC Basketball Tournament moves to a new arena. Join us at Del Mar Fieldhouse in Houston, Texas as 2 teams punch their ticket to the big dance. We will see who rises to the top. A champion will be crowned. The 2018 Toyota Southwestern Athletic Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. Get your tickets now at SWAC.org.
There's our score in time. Prairie View up by 4. Exactly 8 minutes remaining in this opening half on a big Monday in the Southwestern Athletic Conference between the Panthers and the Tigers. Hey, look at what's been going on around college basketball the last day or two. Virginia #1 now. Those that come up the last month of the college football season, but it generates talk.
Well, it's never too early. I mean, look, after the Super Bowl, people are already putting out who's their pick for next year's Super Bowl champion and so forth. So that's just what we do now. And back to that Virginia, Tony Bennett, the defense that they play, just unbelievable how much pressure they put on you. I think, though, the key for them, whether or not they win a national championship or a Final 14, can they get that offense going? They're going to defend.
That's what concerns me. They're going to run into some team that's just going to shoot it one day, and that could be their undoing. But we'll see. What these teams are fighting for, as Malcolm pointed out earlier in the broadcast, positioning for the SWAC tournament. Some tough defense right there, and Jackson State will come away with it. Top 4 get to host. And that's important. Bozeman, pretty, and he lost control of it out of bounds off of the Panthers with 24 to shoot.
Well, a couple things going on with Jackson State right now. Rebounding. Right now they're a -7 in the rebounding department. And then I think they need to go back to Bolden. Bolden, they had success going to him earlier in the game. They've gone away from him really in this last 5 to 6 minute stretch.
Well, he was out for a little while too.
So I think now he's back in the game. Right. They need to try to establish him, whether he's shooting threes or getting work down low on the post where he has a clear size advantage.
He has played 9 of about 13 minutes so far, so he wasn't out for that. Dribbled it off his foot though, trying to create the shot. That time he could not hang on, turned it over. And that's turnover number 7 against Jackson State.
And that's not where you want him doing damage. If he's going to catch and shoot, that's fine. If not, have the guard enter it down low into the post. You don't want him out on the perimeter trying to break guys down with crossovers.
So who's missing from this Jackson State offense, Malcolm, that needs to be scoring besides Bolden?
Well, I think it's just a matter of them settling for some quick jumpers, but credit Prairie View. They've been out there contesting, forcing them into some tough shots.
Great rebound in traffic that time. Collins just skying, going perhaps all the way. Now dishes to Jefferson for a good look. And that's going to be out of bounds. Nothing wrong with that shot. He was open, great pass, just didn't make it.
Yeah, sometimes, again, I love what Doc Rivers says. It's a make or miss game. We can try to analyze it all we want, but right there, you said that's a beautiful transition offense. They break it down, kick it back out to a wide open shooter. And that's just one that didn't go for him.
What's the expression? We don't need shooters, we need makers.
It's as simple as that. You get an open look, you got to knock that one down.
Long pass, Dennis Jones walked. And we talked about three-point shooting. Jackson State is 4 of 11, and Prairie View 2 for 10. The only 2 come from Troy Thompson. So once again, they are off their three-point shooting game. Mentioned at the top of the show, 3 of 22 from 3 when these teams played at Jackson State on January 15th. And Jackson State has not made a 3 in their last 3 tries.
Right now, the stats are showing that Jackson State has 0 points in the paint. And I think that needs to change. They're settling for too many jumpers.
Here's a walk there. You take a look back at that meeting we've talked about several times already. I've mentioned quite a bit about one team's bad shooting. Then you had Jackson State just knocking the lights out of the building with their three-point shooting. And then Jackson State has slumped since then, including losing at home last week to Southern on Big Monday, a Southern team that had only won one road game all year long. That's an easy finish, a great pass by Hamilton, and Jet, as that shot clock was down to single digits, slams it home. Largest lead.
Yeah, another patient possession that time for Prairie View. Again, shot fakes, not settling for jumpers, and then they're just breaking down that D with some nice interior passing to finish the plays off.
A little flipper by Collins, creating something out of nothing there, and Collins has 8 to, along with Bolden, lead the Tigers. Wide open, and it's missed by Jones. We'll get a necessary foul on the rebound.
Right here, again, nice head fake to start it off, and that's just a beautiful interior pass. The rotation by Jackson State is not there. Now that guy down at the foul line area right there, he needs to drop down to cut off that pass. Now that time, though, the rotation was late, and the result, an uncontested dunk.
Stars check back in for Prairie View. Bolden goes to the bucket, goes left hand, misses everything. We're going to have a rebounding foul against Prairie View. I believe that will be on that guy right there, Jet.
If I'm Jackson State, I'm going right back at Bolden. Again, he's got a clear size advantage. Run your offense through him. Let him go to work down low on the block.
Correction, they're giving that foul to Ellis, number 13.
Referees continue to do a good job. They're getting double time today because they're working without a shot clock above this basket on this end right here. So they're trying to figure out how much time and make sure both teams are aware of what's going on.
20 is the answer. Bolden, that was a good move. He goes left hand, and he will go to the line. Now that time he crossed over and did it well.
And it's at the foul line area, which is okay. And this is a beautiful set play right here. Get him isolated, and I like that because there's nowhere to help. If you help right there on the side, he's got a nice pass to the wing. So that's a beautifully designed play that time by Jackson State to get Bolden isolated that time at the foul line area.
And the foul on Wallace will be his first. They will get Bolden here. He is our first player in double figures tonight. Free throws, he could be a little better.
He's the preseason pick for SWAC Defensive Player of the Year after sitting out the previous year. So he's a guy when healthy. Can do a lot of things for Jackson State.
The three-point shooting is just not there for Prairie View. They are leading this game because they've been able to score on the inside, but their outside shooting at the moment is just way off. They got a 2 out of 12 from 3. 8 to shoot. With the public, there's a line drive free from Collins, and we are even. The public address announcer is shouting on 10 seconds when it's appropriate because that darkened the shot clock. I missed everything. I'm sure that's Jet's game based on his statistics. That was just his 9th attempt, and it's only made 1. The offense running as you would like, Malcolm, through Bolden when he's out there.
He's done some nice things, passing the ball. He showed off the ability to knock down threes.
And it knocked away from him, though. They've got 5 to shoot. Collins, that's a tough shot and a great rebound that time by Wallace. Jones over 2 defenders. Dennis Jones having a tremendous first half.
Well, his degree of difficulty with his finishes going to the basket has been off the charts. That one right there, he had 3 defenders around him. And just a quick burst. And then his ability to take the hit and finish has been impressive in his first half.
Bolden traveled, got a little uncertain, could not get a man open, and that was a good example of a turnover forced by defense. Dennis Jones got the start tonight and has delivered 7 points and 3 assists, and the Panthers have the edge.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. And the new DQ Honey Hot Glazed Chicken Strip Basket. Get it today, only at your DQ.
The Valentine's edition of the crossover. It's back, baby. Wednesday night on ESPN and ESPN2. We have the college announcers going pro and the NBA guys going back to school, like Rodney Dangerfield. Hubie Brown and Jay Billis at Virginia Tech and Duke. Mark Jackson and Dickie V and the Clippers in Boston. PJ Carlissimo and Dan Dockich, Kentucky v. Auburn. And the Warriors and Trailblazers. How about Bill Walton and Doris Burke? You can find it on the app if you're out and about on Valentine's, and I imagine a lot of you will be.
You're just a pro. I mean, you somehow found a way to slide in Rodney Dangerfield in that promo right there.
Back to school.
That's a pro right there.
Yes, sir. So offensive rebounds were a problem last time these teams met, and they're a problem again. Prairie View 6-love. If this were tennis, that would be the end of the set. And they're 6-love in second chance points as well.
And I think the big number for Prairie View right now, 15% from the three-point line, 2 for 13. They need to stop settling for threes. They need to continue to get the ball going to the basket.
And a massive difference you just saw there in points in the paint, 14-2, favoring the home team. However, after all that, it's still just a 2-point game. Bozeman has Collins with him. Gives it to Collins. Collins will take off. Missed a shot. But Bozeman will get the rebound. Collins tumbled to the floor. He's back up. Oh, Bozeman just missed an open look underneath. Howard. A great catch by Bozeman there. That was pretty nice. Just under 10 as that misses. Howard almost got the rebound, but there's Dennis Jones at 6'1" in there. And it's stolen by Bozeman. 2-on-2 drill. Collins. Tough shot. Bozeman missed the putback. Collins in traffic. Oh, I don't know how he got through there, and then he missed it. And it will belong to the Tigers, and everybody catch your breath. Substitutions will come in. Jefferson for Jackson State. Ellis for the Panthers. Hamilton and Jones check out.
I think that was a little bit of just Collins not having his legs. Remember, he had to lay off. He was out 7 games. And that one looked better, though, right there with the finish. And you ask who's another guy that needs to step up, it is him.
Yep.
Paris Collins, he's a guy, their leading scorer. He's a guy that also gets it done on the defensive side. Gets a lot of steals, very active in the passing lane.
Step back, tough shot, and in for 2 from Troy Thompson. Got a hand in his face that time, did not deter him. He's averaged about 14 his last 6 games, actually 13.5. Ball left behind by Austin, hits the floor, stolen. Wallace anticipated. And then Howard anticipated. Collins, again, now it's 4-on-2. Jefferson for 3, missed everything. And the putback is good by Lemmy Howard. And we're tied again. And that pass knocked out of bounds into the Jackson State coaching staff. Don't take that kind of hustle. Collins, pretty winded, is going to come out of the game.
If you're Prairie View right now, you're playing against a team in Jackson State that's just active in the passing game. They're going to gamble. They're going to try to shoot gaps and get their hands on any pass. Ball fakes and then some backdoor cuts, I think, are going to be key in this game. Try to slow down some of their aggressiveness in the passing lanes.
Collins is really hurting on the other end right now. He's just completely out of wind. Howard has it. I've never seen a player almost take his shirt completely off on the bench. Timeout will be taken here with 1 minute to go. Collins is trying to work himself back in to basketball shape. Collins not only got up, put his shirt back on, but started cheerleading and yelling in the huddle. Now he's dancing. So I guess he's got his wind, or he has, Malcolm, an unusual way to get his wind back. And now somebody just hit him hard on the bench, and he could be out. I think he'll be back somehow, and they need him for Jackson State. What an entertaining guy. And the Panthers will take a timeout. Six ties, 4 lead changes in this critical game, as every heartbeat gets you a little bit closer to conference tournaments. We take a look at the standings. You see our 2 teams. They can still see the top teams, but at the same time, they also see what's underneath them, and they don't want to go where those guys are, obviously.
Yeah, key game, and obviously for Prairie View, anytime you're at home in conference play, you have to protect home court. In conference and the SWAC, it's so difficult to win on the road. So right now, Prairie View, both teams down some key players, but we got a tie ball game right here. It's been cleanly played. Both teams showing some nice signs on defense. I think slight edge, though, right now, Jackson State on the road because they forced Prairie View into some difficult threes on the other end.
15 to shoot here. Jeremiah Bozeman will run things. His pass deflected by Wallace. Hamilton will get it. Back the other way. 45 seconds to go. And it's out of bounds off of Jackson State, but 28-28 our score.
Substitution for the Panthers.
Quick sub in. Sharon Jett will come in as Ellis. And here they have the clock to hundredths. But it's actually 44.2. Whenever it stops, it goes to hundredths. Never seen that. Hamilton been guarded very closely. Really forced that one up. Bad shot is bricked. And Austin gets the rebound. Now the shot clock is off, which Jackson State's been used to.
Another nice defensive possession again by Jackson State. But they just continue to force Prairie View into some tough contested threes.
2 out of 14 Prairie View. This is their game in January against Jackson State all over again. This time, however, it's in their gym. Oh, pretty move, and it rolls all the way in. And Jeremiah Bozeman and beats the buzzer with that roll in. 30-28. Jackson State sneaks in front right before the break.
Well, you have to be happy with this move right here. Pretty spin move by Bozeman, and then he had the nice touch. And that's how you want to go into the half. On the road, Jackson State with the 2-point lead.
With 6 grams of energy-giving protein, there's nothing you and almonds can't do.
Jackson State leading Prairie View A&M on this big Monday, presented by Joseph A. Bank, 30-28. Here is already the Panthers are out on the court. We're waiting for Jackson State to come on back out. And Malcolm Huckabee, we've expected a close game today. There's a lot at stake in the standings. These teams just a half game apart. And it's delivered, but Prairie View has struggled with their outside shooting again.
Yeah, and give a lot of credit to Jackson State. They held them to below 15% in that first half. They contested shots. They forced them into a lot of difficult shots early in the shot clock. So that's something that's got to change for Prairie View coming out in the second half.
So let's take a look at what you might have missed if you're just joining us now. In fact, you would have missed it if you're just joining us now.
Yeah, Trayshawn Bolden played a nice first half for Jackson State. You look at his numbers, 10 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, and showing off some range. And then on the other end, Prairie View, they got a nice boost from Dennis Jones. He was able to get down into the lane. I think they need to have more of this. We look at his numbers in that first half. He had 7 points, 3 assists for Prairie View.
And the numbers show that Prairie View is uncharacteristically poor from three-point range right now. 2 out of 14. Jackson State 5 out of 15. Prairie View with the edge in rebounds. Jackson State 11 turnovers And that's been a problem for them. And points in the paint belonging to the Panthers, who trail this one by 2. We'll come back with your second half in a moment. This is Big Monday, presented by Joseph A. Bank. Second half about to begin, about 3 or 4 feet in front of our broadcast location here at Nick's. The Hill, Prairie View. As Jackson State in the road blues. They lead this one by a bucket. Bolden Daughtry. There's a shot missed by Collins. Rebound, tapped around, and finally controlled again by Jackson State. I say Collins, Daughtry, Bolden, Austin, and Jefferson, the starting group here in this half. They're saying that started the game for Jackson State. Austin's left wide open. Bolden almost got the rebound. It's going to be controlled by Wallace. Keon Alexander is out there as well. Dennis Jones, who we talked about at halftime. Zachary Hamilton turns it over. Pass into traffic, and it's out of bounds. Turned over by Jackson State. That's going to be turnover number 12.
Well, right idea, but that's got to be a bounce pass right there that leads to a layup. Back to your comment about the turnovers. The only good thing for Jackson State on the turnovers is Prairie View really has not capitalized those turnovers and turned them into points. But certainly, you don't want to keep missing opportunities with these turnovers if you're Jackson State.
You're not kidding. 2 points off turnovers. We're going to have a foul going the other way against Prairie View, and I believe that'll be on Alexander. Getting the start tonight with Gary Blackston out of the game, and what a blow that is for Prairie View. He had to be the hottest player in the SWAC. Number 2 in scoring, almost 29 points his last 3 games, and he's all over the Southwest Athletic Conference statistics.
Yeah, that's just a big hole to try to fill. And certainly they could use him tonight as they're struggling on offense.
13th turnover. So a little bit of a rocky start for both sides. There you see Blackston right there with the left foot booted up. Always difficult. Malcolm, I know you must have missed a game or 2 with an injury in your long career.
I did not miss a game in college, believe it or not. I got injured, had a career-ending injury. I was down after with the Miami Heat, but I never missed a game in college. Came close once.
You Ripken through it.
I did.
With 5 to shoot, everything missed that time. And again, we're dealing with to our right, and now Prairie View has to deal with it, a downed clock. It is not working. Bolden for 3 again.
And that's all set up. Beautiful transition offense and an unselfish play by Jefferson. And that's how you want to run the fast break. Break down the D, then make the extra pass. Now that is perfection right there.
He hasn't missed a shot, and he's 3 for 3 from 3. Tough shot, very tough shot created there by Zach Hamilton.
If I'm Jackson State, I'm going right back at Bolden. Prairie View started doubling when they got him isolated over on the block, but I would run my offense through him. And it looks like they're going to do that. Get him a touch and then make him double.
Ooh, look out there. That pass was hot. Jefferson was barely able to hang on to it. Collins, defender fell down. He gets a freebie. With 2 on the clock, he was missed. It will not be a shot clock violation, but there will be a rebounding foul. We take a look at Trayshawn Bolden's form.
And this right here, again, the extra pass by Jefferson. That's what you want to see if you're a coach. Guys being unselfish with the ball. And Bolden, the big fella, showing off some nice touch from beyond the arc tonight.
Now, you can see his numbers. Normally, a guy you think, okay, we have to stop Bolden from the 3-point line. He's a 27% shooter, but not tonight, my friends.
I think part of this, he's been wide open. These haven't been contested threes that he's knocked down tonight.
It's a long 2 missed, tapped up, no good. Rebound Bolden. Well, let me ask you, if you're making a Jackson State scouting report, would you say that he's a 3-point threat? Or do you go ahead and say, go ahead and shoot it, man?
After watching this game, and if he continues to shoot at this clip, now listen, I think you certainly don't want him having as much room as he's had tonight, but certainly I wouldn't try to chase him off the 3-point line necessarily.
Pocket pick, Jones. All the way. 1-point game. Now a little pressure here. Broken by Collins. Lemmy Howard missing. The rebound. Jones again. Trying to draw a little contact. A lot of steps, and he gets the roll. And a mini Dennis Jones burst puts Prairie View back in front.
When he comes back, though, he's hobbling a little bit. Looks like he might have tweaked something on that last drive, but certainly in this game, he's been the player of the game for Prairie View. With his ability to break down the defensive drive and then his ability to set his teammates up for some open looks.
Well, he caught the shot block by Thompson, and he also got fouled.
Well, it has been the Dennis Jones show right here. Nice step in, take the charge. And with the uncontested layup on the other end, right here, this is just a strong move. Well, we got a close game in the second half here.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Degree Deodorant. It won't let you down. And Esurance, auto and home insurance for the modern world.
Prairie View leads by 1. They're on a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds right after Jackson State had taken their largest lead of the night at 5 points. With Malcolm Huckabee, Dave Lamont, you take a look right there. And Dennis Jones has played brilliantly for the Panthers.
Yeah, he has been the guy for Prairie View in this game with his ability to get to the basket and then set his teammates up. He's really played a great floor game for Prairie View so far.
He plays a lot of minutes normally, 8th in the conference in minutes played, and that would be knocked out of bounds with 17 to shoot for the Panthers.
And no more of a defensive guy, an energy guy, but tonight he's given them a boost offensively, and just impressive how he's been able to break down this Jackson State defense.
This is Thompson. He's a good shooter. Misses that one. He had a couple of threes early on. The three-point shooting for Prairie View continues to be a mystery. It's just not there tonight. Bolden. He's going to drive by everybody. Just rip through the door.
I mean, he is so powerful. One-on-one, they're not going to be able to guard him. And so they're going to have to double. And if I'm Jackson State again, I'm going right at him every time on offense. Nobody else shoot until he gets his touch in the paint.
One more time from 3. One more time, no good. Rebound tapped out there by Jet. They'll try again. This time Jones will go to the rim. He will draw the contact, get the basket, and go to the line.
If you look at his stat line, going for 14 points after the potential three-point play, 4 assists, 1 steal, and then just great body control right here to avoid the charge. And again, with the left hand, that's 3 times now I've counted in this game where he's been able to break the D down and then finish with the opposite hand, which is the left, and show some nice touch.
Lemmy Howard was hit with that personal foul. Only his first. We don't have anybody in foul trouble yet, Malcolm. We've got a handful of guys with 2 fouls each, but nobody at 3 yet. 14:50 mark of our game in the second half. Berry from 3, almost got a tap back. Bolden had to go through his hands, but Howard will control it in a fresh shot clock, and Bozeman's left open. Little baseline, Jay. Nice touch. We're tied.
Nice job of Bozeman that time, looking the defender off. They thought he was going to throw it back out. Nice little crossover back to the baseline, and then that's a beautiful mid-range jumper.
That was a great crossover by Jones, but his pass intercepted there by Paris Collins. Collins will work over to Bozeman, who will walk it across.
Collins, one of the top steal guys in the nation. And he is just so active in the passing lane. You got to be careful anytime you make a pass around him.
He's got 13 points and 4 rebounds. We're going to have an offensive foul, and it's going to go against the sophomore, number 13, Jordan Berry. see his opposite number there. Iwan Ellis checking out of the game, getting a little quick talk with head coach Byron Smith in his second full season at Prairie View A&M against Wayne Brent. Been around a little bit now with Jackson State. Good pass. Jet. Shayron Jet is senior from South Carolina.
That's a nice little flare screen, and the pass was on point. A gamble by Jackson State. They don't get the steal, and they had a wide open little baseline jumper.
Jet doing well here. 6 points, 3 rebounds off the bench. Bolden, will he just fire it? He'll draw a whistle.
Right here, Prairie View with a nice little set play, little flare screen, and hand down. He makes them pay. Poor closeout by Jackson State, but certainly still a tight game here, back and forth. And credit both defenses. We were expecting a high-scoring game in this one. Both defenses have been very good on both sides.
The foul was on J.D. Wallace. That'll be his second person. Moose Bolden makes the front end of the 2 free throws he was awarded. Howard will check out. Barry checks in. I should say, excuse me, Howard is checked in. Barry out. And one more set about to happen here. Presumably for the shooter. That will have to wait. Jones lost the handle. There's one negative about his performance. He has turned the ball over somewhat. He's going to try to get it back here, roll it out of bounds off of him. Should belong and does to Jackson State. He has turned the ball over 6 times to go with 5 assists.
Yeah, you're right. And that is the one blemish on this game tonight for him. Trying to get it back on the other end right here. Nice hustle play. Both guys getting after it. But you're right. He needs to cut down the turnovers.
Under 10 to shoot. Bozeman, top of the key. Pass almost stolen. And instead, Collins with a beautiful floater, and Jackson State has retaken the lead.
And we've seen that now twice, both ends. Collins that time avoiding the charge. That's just great body control.
Jones. Bozeman guarding him. Jones loves to go to his left. Good pass. Jet fumbled it. Shot partially blocked by Howard. Jet 1 try. 2 tries didn't get it to go. Prairie View gets it back with a fresh shot clock. Jones in traffic. What a pass. And Wallace will put the Panthers back in front.
Dennis Jones, when he does not turn the ball over, man, is he difficult to keep out of the lane. All night, he's been able to get in there and then find guys or finish for himself.
The last time these teams played, he had 15 points and 6 assists. He has 14 points and 6 assists right now. Collins, that's a tough little step back. 4 white jerseys around there, 3 white jerseys, I should say, around that rebound. Jones had it tapped away by Bozeman, who's broken free. Jones in pursuit. Oh, and he got a hand on the ball, out of bounds, off of Bozeman. And that's how we go to break, with an unbelievable effort by Dennis Jones.
Well, if you're going to turn it over, get back on D. Dennis Jones all over the court. Prairie View with a 1-point lead.
Super Tuesday presented by Boost Mobile. A couple of top 25 matchups for you. Oklahoma 23rd ranked, and Trae Young taking on number 7 Texas Tech. Then the ACC down at the U. Number 1 Virginia against Miami, who just dropped out of the top 25. Both these games are on ESPN and the ESPN app. Hey Lou, what's going on in the Big 12? Texas Tech in front, threatening Kansas's dominance of that conference. West Virginia's had a weird season. And Kansas State and OU right in there.
How about the Big 12, though? Top to bottom, there's some quality teams, quality coaches in there. Obviously, the story of this year has been Trae Young, what he's been able to do at Oklahoma. But how about Kansas? Texas Tech right now threatening to dethrone Kansas's reign in the Big 12.
You got Baylor playing in Austin tonight and winning in the second half by 6, and West Virginia at home against TCU up 5 with about 11.5 to go in that game.
Right here in this one right here, I like the change of defense right now. Jackson State going back to the matchup zone.
Working around here, Zachary Hamilton. Oh, he got grabbed. That was an easy call. Hamilton is somebody we talked about at the start of the show for his offensive output, but he's 0 for 6 from 3, 1 of 8 on the night period. So he has a couple of points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, and he will go to the line where he is a 75% shooter.
I said it at the tip. Hard to believe he started his career off as a walk-on. And the coaching staff really just raves about this young man. He's everything right about what a student athlete should be, an engineering major, and he's no doubt going to have success off the court when he leaves Prairie View. And certainly that's what it's about at any level, any conference. You want to see your guys have success academically as well, too. And he certainly has been that guy for Prairie View.
Iwan Ellis takes his place on the court. And Austin, yeah, that's a walk right in front of the official. And Hamilton didn't even get a chance to warm the seat he was sitting in. He's back in so quickly. He has it now. Seven ties, 10 lead changes. 45-40 the score, though, now on a great drive by Hamilton. And if he heats up, that's big news for the Panthers.
Well, he's such an excellent three-point shooter. Again, he leads the SWAC in three-point field goals made per game. He averages 3 made per game. So they're going to crowd him on the three-point line, and that's a nice job of him not settling for a 3 and driving the ball to the basket.
Interestingly, every time Jackson State takes the lead, this is the second time now Prairie View has gone on a 6-0 run. That's a tough one by Love. Rebound, Austin. Wow, boy, that's just all effort from Darius Austin.
And I'll use that word again, effort. Those are the plays that are the difference between winning and losing on the road. Those little 50-50 balls, offensive rebounds, and that just is just great job by Austin on the offensive glass right here. I'm not sure how he got this one. Soft hands and then power it back up. Great individual move that time by Austin.
2 fouls on Austin. Thompson, 73% free throw shooter. Not a lot of free throws tonight. Only 2 out of 5 for Jackson State, and 8 for 9 right now for Prairie View.
And that definitely was a key for Prairie View. Again, their last time out, they put Grambling on the line 37 times.
That's crazy.
And they worked, I ain't never seen a shoot around like this, but they mainly worked on defense. And the big reason why they were playing defense and they were fouling. So listen, coming into this game, we put a big emphasis on not fouling.
The handoff stolen by Thompson. Little flipper there, and on the backside, put back by Iwan Ellis. And Jackson State got a little dry here on the offensive end. They've lost 5 of their last 6. In fact, they went into this tailspin right after they beat the Panthers on January 15th. Well, that's a great drive to the left hand by Julian Daughtry. Spectacular from the junior out of Memphis. highly unlikely that Prairie View is going to get that 80-plus scoring thing going that they've had lately. They're going to take a timeout with 15 to shoot. We take a look here at the effort by Julian Daughtry. We'll do that in a moment. We're going to step aside. 48 to 44 as you see Daughtry switch hands. There is your score and time. 48-44 Prairie View over Jackson State. Earlier tonight in the conference, we had a win for Southern, defeating Mississippi Valley State in Baton Rouge 55-51. Grambling, by the way, they're ineligible for the SWAC tournament at Texas Southern, and they're winning that one by 10 with just under 10 minutes to go. But the real eye-opener is what's happening at Alcorn. They are smashing Arkansas Pine Bluff, who have 9 wins in the conference, 79-50. That game is nearly over. So that becomes even bigger if you are Jackson State and Prairie View, as one of the top 2 teams and an eligible top team will come back to the pack a little bit.
Every game counts right now, and certainly this is a big one for both teams right now out on the court.
Hamilton, smart moves to let that go, and that's exactly what Bozeman did.
And that's just set up by the length and activity of Bears Collins. And he's going to try to get his hand on every pass you make. And so you got to ball fake him, try to move his hands, get him up in the air, but if you float any pass around him, he's going to get his hands on it.
Bolden, top of the key, flips it back. The pass, a great catch by Daughtry. It was not a great pass. Daughtry had a terrible time with it, and very aggressive defense here. Bozeman now will drive and found the bucket. He disappeared for a moment from our view, but the ball went in.
Another difficult drive to the basket. Somehow, though, Jackson State able to get those to drop. And right now, we got a 2-point game.
Under 8 in this one. That's going to be an and one. Count it. Dennis Jones wiggling through a tiny seam in the defense.
I just love the pace that he plays with and the patience. It has been the Dennis Jones show for Prairie View, and he has just done a really nice job breaking down this D, that time off of a split, and then finished with the left hand.
We will step aside. Free throw pending as Prairie View trying to inch up the standings. Jackson State having a tough time in the league right now, having lost 5 of the last 6.
No.
Prairie View up by 4 in this game in the SWAC on Big Monday. And take a look at our man of the match right here. Dennis Jones, 16 points, 7 of 13 shooting. He hasn't made a 3. 7 out of 8 inside the arc. Now, we've talked a little bit about what's happening in the conference tonight. Grambling and Alabama A&M are not eligible to be in the SWAC tournament. So you go to your top 8. You host campus sites in the quarterfinals and off to Houston for 2 days, the semis and the finals. And the final will be on ESPN2 from Houston. And recently, everybody sort of got Texas Southern, but they're middle of pack this year, so wide open. But what's even more interesting is one of your best teams is not eligible.
I think it's a wide open SWAC conference tournament this year. Really 1 through 4 has just as good a chance of being the representative in the NCAA tournament. So certainly, though, a lot to be played for. You want to be hosting that first round if you're any one of those top teams.
Daughtry lefty on the 3, splash down, and it's a 2-point Panthers lead. Again, this game has been close throughout. We have not had any double-digit leads. The largest lead in the game has been 7. Too strong by Starr.
You You can't ask for a better look. I know Prairie View has struggled from the three-point line, but you don't mind if it comes off of dribble penetration breakdown and then kick out to a guy who's wide open. And that's a pretty good look right there.
Getting a little contact away from the ball, and the dreaded arm bar call will go against Jet.
And that's a tough matchup for Jet going up against Bolden. He's given up a lot of size. Bolden, just one of the most powerful players in the SWAC.
Has it here. And out to Daughtry. Bozeman. Boy, some clever dribbling by Bozeman. He drew contact that time. Jet hacked him. That's going to be the 4th team foul against Prairie View.
Well, Jeremiah Bozeman's changed the direction. Look at this right here. A little hesitation and then blow right by him. Now that's a great change of pace, change of direction, change of speed. And now he's at the free throw line.
72% shooter on the season, and we are closer to being tied. That would be our 8th tie. As Hamilton comes back into the game, Jet, after a couple of whistles going against him, checks out. And we are tied for the 8th time.
Well, breaking down this zone, this has been problematic for Prairie View. Again, they got to break this down with either dribble penetration or use ball fakes to try to move or shift the zone.
You know, they're 2 out of 20 from 3. 2 of 20. And both those threes are by Troy Thompson, and that was honestly in real time an hour ago. Maybe longer.
And it's amazing they're tied up in this game. Right now, though, credit Jackson State. They're just forcing them, almost daring them to shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Let's see what's happened in the second half. Bolden. Boy, that was a really hard hit that Austin Starr took. You saw him set up for the charge. You wondered if Bolden was going to get suckered into it, and he was. And there was a loud crash heard throughout the Prairie View campus that time when Starr fell. Bolden's going to check out because he has 3 fouls. And that's a big loss. Lemmy Howard will come in. Now 5:45 to go. 3 fouls. Maybe just a little rest here?
Yeah, I think give him a little quick blow, and then he's going to be right back in the game, I would imagine, within a minute or so.
How about within about 10 seconds?
Yeah.
How about the next whistle? He'll be back in. Long 3 balls. Perfect shot. And once again, Dennis Jones, that's a career high in points for him. And it's a made 3.
Why not? He has played really some fantastic ball tonight for Prairie View. He's done a little bit of everything. Defensively solid, but offensively he has been the guy for Prairie View.
They get a foul here against Prairie View. That'll be their 5th.
Coming into this game known as really an excellent defender right there, though, just raising up. A not bad D. It was contested 3, but that's been the night for Dennis Jones. He really has carried this team throughout the game, first and second half.
Bolden has come back in. Howard checked out. A very short rest there for Trayshawn Bolden. 20 to shoot here on the inbounds. 5:09 to go. Austin has position. Patient. And he'll go to the line. So the next foul will put Jackson State on the line for the rest of the night. Prairie View is already going to be shooting for the rest of our evening here in Texas. Austin, a little shaky from the foul line so far this season. Centerville, Illinois, a senior. Perfect looking free throw there. Hamilton is back in. Iwan Ellis will take a seat.
I'm always amazed when you talk about a guy not being a good free throw shooter. They step up and knock him down. And then it's the absolute reverse when anytime you get a good free throw shooter, you talk about his numbers, you jinx him.
But the rebound goes to Bozeman. Just out-hustled him that time, and now we're hitting the 5-minute mark. You know, a question I was going to ask you, Malcolm, before the game started, and I'll ask you now, because we have a low-scoring game. Would you have said that a low-scoring game would favor Jackson State?
Absolutely. In particular, you look at the shooting numbers for Prairie View, a team that averages over 90 the last 5 games. So certainly I would say it would, but Prairie View, give them credit.
And that was an unbelievable rebound by Wallace. Hamilton. Wallace. Nope. We're going to have an offensive foul as Austin takes the charge. That's about a half a dozen offensive fouls combined tonight as these players have sacrificed themselves for this important SWAC game.
Yeah, this is just great team defense again. Step over, and if you're an offensive player driving, you have to be aware that guys are stepping in, taking charges. You have to be under control when you're driving to the basket.
The real name of an offensive foul is a player control foul, and I think we've seen a couple of examples tonight of guys who just have not been under control, and it really makes it easy for the officials to make that call.
We haven't called Bolden's name in a while. Let's see if they get him a touch.
He is trying to direct traffic right now. Daughtry Collins, here's another guy who needs to get going in these final moments. Austin out of bounds and will belong to Prairie View A&M. 4 minutes exactly left in this one, and we will step aside. Low-scoring slugfest in the SWAC. The Panthers with a narrow lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905. And in part by Extra Go. Give extra, get extra. And Infinity, empower the drive.
Kenny Mayne and John Anderson have SportsCenter following that Baylor, Texas game on ESPN. They'll have more about Johnny Manziel, an interview with Good Morning America. And is there a chance he'll play in the NFL? Plus, big matchup, Blake Griffin and Anthony Davis. And an inspiring look at Texas basketball player Andrew Jones's battle with leukemia. On SportsCenter following that Baylor, Texas game on ESPN. And, of course, on the ESPN app. We got a good one here with a lot at stake for these two teams in the SWAC. With Arkansas Pine Bluff having taken a loss, scrambling with a win tonight. But again, it's nice for your record, but they're not eligible for the conference tournament. So you've got Jackson State 7-5. You've got Prairie View A&M at 6-5 in conference play, and it's been close throughout.
Now Jackson State, I like the change up of defense. They extend their pressure to a little full court, a 1-2-2 pressure D, and then they're going to fall back into that matchup zone.
Contested, back iron, no good. Rebound tapped by Starr. They're still fighting for it, and it's going to be in the hands of Bolden. And Bozeman barely beat the timeline. So that puts them deep in the shot clock already. We're down to 8 to shoot. We're going in the wrong direction here. Now Daughtry took a look. Step back, lefty three. No. And another rebound by Wallace. He has springs.
I tell you, his elbows, it seems like they're over the rim every time he goes up for a defensive rebound.
So a Prairie View team that had scored at least 85 points in their last 5 games, hung 96 earlier this month on Texas Southern, has 54 with under 3 minutes to go, but still leads. And Collins, look out. He almost lost that ball out of bounds. He'll have it here. Bolden setting up. Collins step back. Now to Bolden. Oh, sweet pass. Oh, and a difficult shot. Give the assist to Bolden, and Bozeman ties it up.
Bolden just continues to impress. Now, the shot and finish was tough, but Bolden's unselfish play and then his passing out of the post really has been on point tonight for Jackson State.
Three ball forced up. Daughtry gets the rebound. We are now under 2 minutes. We're going to get a timeout called here. So we will stay here with 1:58 to go.
And this has been the best offense for Jackson State. Run your offense through Mr. Bolden, I'm going to call him, and that's just a beautiful interior pass by the big fella, unselfish play. He has been the key in their offensive numbers tonight.
So this is the very latest, including Southern's victory, and look at them now, all of a sudden in third place by themselves. Texas Southern taking the loss tonight. Grambling at 10-3, Pine Bluff slipping to 9-4. Nice win for Alcorn to go to 5-8, and there you see our two teams smack dab in the middle of it all. So Jackson State could tie Southern, or Prairie View will tie Texas Southern. So big game here. Remember, and just take Grambling out of the equation right now for the SWAC tournament. They are not eligible. Neither is Alabama A&M. So you see that at the moment, Jackson State is fourth. That could change. Could change if they can't win tonight.
Well, coming out of this timeout right now, if you're Jackson State, it's simple. Do what's been working for you. Ball movement, all predicated off of going down low to your big fella, Mr. Bozeman. Let him go to work and then play off of him. If you get threes off of doubles of him, then that's fine, or get cutters going to the basket. But Bolden right now has been the guy for them on the offensive side.
Both teams in the bones. Bolden. A great cut, great eyes by Bolden. Another assist, his fifth of the night. Collins gets the bucket, and he's hobbling a little bit.
And he has. He's basically gutting himself through this game. Missed a lot of time, 7 games.
Oh, and Austin Starr has to limp off the court. I wonder if the two of them, Starr had to have the game stopped by the officials. The Starr limped off.
And again, running your offense through Bolden. Nice backdoor cut by Paris Collins. And we talked about him getting his production back in the lineup, how big that is for Jackson State.
You see Collins has that one leg wrapped up a bit. He had missed a bunch of games, had not played since January 8th, and he played on Saturday. And he does look to be a little bit off. Now again, Prairie View is having to go at the basket and does not have a clock. That can be a big disadvantage late. 4-3, no good. Rebound, offensive rebound, whistles. And we're headed to the line as Troy Thompson got the rebound. His body's crashed to the floor.
Well, we talked about the struggles for Prairie View. This is just a wide open look that they missed. Right here, a lot of contact. And then right here, you can't ask for a better look. That's a wide open three in the corner. But nice work on the offensive glass.
Now, something we need to point out here, Malcolm, to be fair, the clock above the backboard, that's totally out. However, to the immediate right of there, there is a hanging board that shows the game clock, not the 30-second clock. So the players can keep an eye on that. But the 30-second shot clock, once they get to 10, the PA announcer is shouting out 10 and then 5. And of course, they're right in front of their bench, and I'm sure their bench is communicating constantly.
That's still a disadvantage, though.
Oh, huge. And they tried to fix it at halftime, by the way. The Manny folks came out, gave it their best shot, but could not get it done. Bolden. Got to be careful with that jab step. Daughtry. We're now under a minute. Daughtry in trouble here. He has it. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Panthers with 56 to go.
Hustle plays. And that's what you need to win close games. Gaining possession for your team, getting after it on the floor with the little tip, and then tying it up. And possession for Prairie View.
Love comes in. Daughtry checks out for Jackson State. Wayne Brent setting his defense. Interesting. Young took a look back at the shot clock because he's just going to take his sweet time here. Here we go. The 10-minute mark, the 10-second mark, I should say. Step back. Oh, sweet-looking shot, didn't go. Rebound, Jackson State. Collins. And he'll dribble back. Let's see if they call timeout. They do. 26.2 left. You see 23 to shoot. So you can take this all the way down. Now where are you going with it?
Oh, there's no question whatsoever. I'm going to Trayshawn Bolden. And that's what worked for you. I'd either put him isolated on a wing or put him in a pick and roll situation, have a guard come off and then roll him down to the basket and then make them force play to him. But certainly I'm trying to go through Bolden and either force a double or let him go to work and let them pick their poison. Prairie View. If you're Prairie View, you got a decision to make. If they do isolate him, do you double or do you stay home? That's the problem.
Well, if you double him, he's such a good passer.
Absolutely, and that's why Bolden is such a difficult matchup in this game right now. He's proven his ability to pass the ball. He's set guys up for easy opportunities all night.
See the free throw line? Not a lot of trips to that line tonight, and it may come down to that.
Back to that previous possession, though. Dennis Jones, pretty clean look on the step back, just a little short. But certainly his numbers have been impressive. He's the only player in double digits for Prairie View in this game.
Another nightmare for Prairie View against Jackson State in three-point shooting. They are 3 of 24. That's worse than 3 of 22 when these teams played a month ago and Jackson State won. By that time, both teams got in the 70s. We may have to have triple overtime before somebody gets in the 70s here. Here we go. Back to Bozeman. We're underway. And they are spread out here. Nine to shoot. Got to get going. Collins breaks. You got 5 to shoot. He's almost at half court. Bozeman with 1 to shoot. He never got the shot off.
Looks like there's going to be about 2.5 seconds left on the clock, but a great job heads up play by Prairie View. They were just denying Collins. They were trying to break up the play.
So, and they are going to they would like to look at our monitors for replay. So we're going to make some room for our officials to look at the monitor for replay. It is Prairie View ball, and we're just trying to determine, or they are trying to determine the exact amount of time they have on the clock. On the shot clock violation. And they're going to ask you guys if you can show that for them one more time, please.
And it looks like there might be 3 seconds left on the clock.
Looked to be about 2:09, let's see. But you know what? Our opinions really don't matter here. We'll let them do it.
Right here, Jackson State taking too much time. Nice job of denial by Prairie View. And then it looks like about, 3.2
There it is, 3-1.
The referees are trying to get a different angle on this. Every tick counts.
Yeah, they are looking now, guys, for the angle from our cameraman who is under the basket where everything happened.
And certainly, there's a big difference. Obviously, 3.2 seconds as opposed to 2.4 seconds. See clearly right here.
Yeah, that's. All right, it's going to be around 3. We'll let them decide. And they put the headset off, and we want to thank our guys for taking care of that for this officiating crew. Now it's definitely how much time? White ball. How much time?
How much time?
How much time?
2.51.
You're sticking with that. Okay, so they're going to leave the time as it is. They also wanted to see whose ball it was. So they're satisfied with their calls. 2.5 to go.
Right now, Jackson State deciding not to have anybody on the inbounder.
Jones to win it. We're going to play 5 more. Five more coming up in a critical game in the SWAC.
What if people had a battery level icon? Like
40 minutes. Making sure the guys are lined up properly, the equivalent of throwing a guy out of the face-off circle in hockey. Wallace will back tap and is controlled by the white shirts of Prairie View and Troy Thompson. And now the shot clock has left us. And the game clock is still running, so we're going to have to redo all of that again. We may get another visit. We have one shot clock that is on vacation and completely.
That's an interesting way to put it, but yeah.
I'm being polite to the clock. It's not personal, it's business. So we're settled in our time. So as you see, that's a good example right there. Great look at what that team going toward that basket has had to face. Your buddy, the clock, is not there tonight on that end. And this time it goes against the home team. So there's no home cooking involved here at any game. Free ball. The slump continues offensively for Prairie View. 3 of 25 from 3.
Hey, eventually they got to stop taking it. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
I was going to ask you that because do you have the attitude, I'm going to keep firing, or do you realize it is not there tonight?
If you're open and you're not making them, that's a bad shot. And you got to try to drive it to the basket, and you have nobody on the offensive glass if you're Prairie View.
Bolden try to get the assist. Yet another rebound for J.D. Wallace. That's his 11th.
Well, that's one that Bolden's got to put up. I mean, he's underneath the basket. That time he's a little bit too unselfish.
How about another 3? 3 of 26. Timeout. Prairie View as the extra effort made that time by Sharon Jett. And with Arkansas Pine Bluff losing tonight, dropping to 9-4, and Southern going to 8-5, this game becomes gigantic for both these teams. Jackson State 7-5, and Prairie View 6-5 in the SWAC.
Well, right now what's going on with Prairie View as we take a look at the standings, obviously an important game tonight for both of these teams trying to get into that 4th spot to host the conference tournament game. But, you know, for Prairie View, if you look at these numbers right now, they're below 13% from the 3.
So with 28 to shoot, and already 1:03 gone in our overtime, and we have not had any points yet, Prairie View will get it under their own basket.
Attacking the matchup zone has been problematic for Prairie View. And credit Jackson State. They've done a nice job.
Interception by Collins. He has Love with him. Missed it. Rebound knocked out of bounds. It belongs to Jackson State. I don't think Collins is 100% right now. It looked like he took it on his takeoff. It didn't look clean.
No, it isn't. But again, just great anticipation and really a poor pass that time by Dennis Jones. And you're right, he doesn't have the spring that he normally does to finish those plays. But certainly the effort is there.
Bolden has been quiet offensively and had it stripped. Stripped away by Dennis Jones. Number 3 in the SWAC in steals. 39 turnovers between these teams tonight. It has not been elegant, we have to be honest. However, it's exciting. Hamilton will go to the line.
Well, Zach Hamilton, he has been quiet tonight. But we've been talking about it. Don't settle for jumpers. Try to get the ball going to the basket. Certainly they need these 2 free throws for Hamilton.
Now, as wildly inaccurate as they have been from 3, they are now 12 of 14 from the line. Trayshawn Bolden just picked up his 4th foul. No sign of a substitute. First points of the overtime come from the line. Collins in between, couldn't get it to go. Get another rebound grab there by J.D. Wallace. He's got a dozen. It's not for lack of trying for the senior Paris Collins, that's for sure.
Well, you can see this. The lift is just not quite there yet.
You think about it, though. He missed so much time. You got it, guys. And here come the replays. So you're watching it with our officiating crew.
Clearly a disadvantage for Prairie View, not being able to see the shot clock.
2 seconds. All right, thank you very much. 2 seconds will be on the shot clock. The basket quickly. Jet forces it. Air ball. Shot clock violation, but they will just play on, which is the right thing to do. Now Jackson State, no points in this overtime. We have not had a field goal in this overtime. Bolden. Bozeman back to Bolden, 10 to shoot. He traveled. He doesn't buy it. And he has to be careful here. He's obviously frustrated. And he finally settled down and gave the ball to the official. For our 40th turnover of the night, 24 by Jackson State.
You got to wonder if that's a fatigue travel right there. And at the top of the key. Now he's been playing some good ball for
37 minutes.
And that's a costly turnover.
Double team in the ball. Now under 2 minutes. Jones blocked. Got it back. Great pass. In traffic. Wallace couldn't get it to go. Rebound Jackson State.
Wow.
Yeah. Timeout by Bozeman. It is just frantic, this game. Well, let's watch all this again.
Great defensive effort right here. Get the block, but then Jones sticks with it. Fumble up the pass. A lot of contact right there, but the refs have been pretty consistent.
They're winning by 2. Here's Bolden. Been an excellent facilitator tonight. Jefferson. Who's going to get hot for Jackson State, if anyone can? Will it be Daughtry on the drive? Good defense by Wallace. Rebound ripped away by Collins. Shot clock was reset. They did catch a piece of the rim. They'll try again. Jackson State pointless in this overtime. Bolden. Backing down. Wide open.
He was aware of that and tried to save it. Out of bounds, though, against Jackson State. And yeah, when in doubt. Exactly. When in doubt, try to go get it. Big change of possession, though, for Prairie View.
Shot clock at 15.
Well, if you're Prairie View, do not settle for a jumper.
Don't shoot a 3. Going to get Hamilton. He might go to the line. And he will. That might have been the idea all along. Hamilton's a good free throw shooter. 15, while Jackson State is only 5 out of 9. It's possible that Prairie View will win this game shooting 11.5% from 3-point range. Again, Prairie View working with the shot clock and the game clock off above the basket. You'll see it right there. That's been that way all game. So Jackson State had the same problem in the first half. And it's now a 3-point second. That's all there's left. Now 31 minutes. They do set the clock here for some reason 200. I'm assuming there might be some kind of track work or something that goes on here. There's no other reason to do it. Jackson State's turned it over twice and missed 5 shots. Jefferson thought he got fouled. We're going to get a foul.
Tested 3 like that, and with that much time left on the game clock.
This is the guy for Prairie View from the line tonight. He is now 6 of 7. Hold on a second.
Take a look at Coach Smith. He raves about this young man at the line, Zach Hamilton.
Hard to complain about 7 out of 8. And the Tigers will take the timeout. That stat line almost tells people